All right, welcome. Hey there. Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Boomerang TV, our nonprofit marketing, technology, fundraising podcast. Thanks for joining us for 15 minutes or so. Today, I'm really excited to be introducing our guest. She is Julia Campbell. She is a nonprofit social media strategist. She's an awesome blogger, someone you got to follow on Twitter if you're not already doing it. Hey, Julia, how's it going?
Hey, how are you, Steven?
Good. Thanks for joining us
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, a fellow Massachusetts resident and native, so that's
Yay.
cool. Now, Julia, you're someone I've followed on social media for a little while. You put out awesome blog posts, really great content.
Thank you.
Focus on social media for nonprofits primarily, right?
Well, I focus on digital marketing, so social media is kind of the buzzword, but I really firmly believe in a very holistic approach to nonprofit communications. So you have to have the messaging, the mission, the website, email marketing, blogging, content creation. It all kind of goes together. So when I started out, I was doing a lot of consulting around getting nonprofits on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, but then I realized those are just tools. They don't work unless you have other platforms kind of in play and unless you have a great fundraising plan and a great marketing plan already in place.
So that being said, obviously social nonprofits are using social media today more than ever. They do a lot of weird things, I kind of notice, and maybe you've noticed that as well, and I know you've written about this. One thing is followers, right? There's this weird obsession about having a lot of followers. I see nonprofits tweet something like, oh, we're one follower away from 300, can you retweet this? Like, what is that? Why do people do that? What is this obsession with followers in your mind?
Well, I do that too, to be fair. When I was about to reach 7,000 on Twitter, I was like, yay, help me get to 7,000.
That's a big number. That's congratulations.
Thank you. I mean, it's been years. So, but I really believe in the slow and steady turtle versus the hare approach. And not everyone likes that, and that's not really for everybody, but that's my philosophy. I think if you put in the hours and you put in the time and you're consistently putting out great content and interacting with people and showing that you're a real person or a real organization, the numbers are going to grow. So a lot of nonprofits, they look for this kind of quick fix, and it's not necessarily their fault. It's because they don't understand the culture of the social media tools and the channels, and they've heard so many great stories about their competitors or their colleagues or their partner organizations getting 10,000 Facebook fans. I just don't think that social media is a numbers game anymore. I really think that it's important to be reaching the right people, whether that be 50 people as opposed to 50,000 people. So to be targeting, almost like finding your tribe, which is something that Seth Godin and Chris Brogan talk about, really finding your people that talk to you. So for a long time when I wrote my blog, I really didn't know what I was writing about. Like in the very beginning, I kind of was trying to reach businesses and I was talking about social media. I wasn't really sure. Then I thought, you know what, my audience is really the small to mid-sized nonprofit professional who's kind of on board with social media but wants to convince, his or her supervisors, wants some new ideas and tips and tricks of how to use it, maybe wants to explore new platforms. They're on Facebook, but they want to use Twitter. So to speak to that particular person has been really effective for me, and I feel like I can tailor my communications, and I think nonprofits should be doing that also, not trying to reach 10 million people, maybe trying to reach 1 million people or even 1,000 people that are the people that are going to spread the word and become advocates for your cause.
I completely agree with you, by the way, and you talk about this idea of having a tribe and having an online community that's loyal, right? The word loyalty is something you use a lot. How do you build that loyalty among a small group rather than just having this massive, faceless, huge following that isn't really doing anything for you?
Loyalty comes after a lot of work, a lot of hard work. So if you consistently are authentic and credible and you're putting out information that is helping people or is useful to people, so what you really want to do first is figure out who your community is and then what they like. So unfortunately, newsflash, they love your nonprofit, but that's not the only thing that they like For instance,
Yeah.
in Boston, you might want to be talking about the Red Sox, or you might want to be talking about something else going on in this area that they like. You don't necessarily want to be fake or pander or anything like that, but understand that you and your cause are kind of a little small portion of what goes on in their life every day,
Hmm.
but that they like you because of the impact that you're having. So I firmly believe in, rewarding and acknowledging your followers. So that would mean thanking them constantly, interacting with them. If they post a question or a comment, replying, saying thank you, or sharing something that they wrote, or featuring a fan of the week on your page, however it is that you want to build and acknowledge your community, and then also giving them the tools to really spread the word about your cause. So a lot of events do this, where they have the social media ambassadors, where the social media ambassadors will kind of spread the word via Twitter. They'll donate a tweet, or they'll donate a Facebook post and spread the word, and that will help your nonprofit sort of get access to a whole group and a whole network that you would never have had access to before. And that's really the name of the game on social media. Likes and comments are all well and good, but you really want to get those shares and
Hmm.
those retweets, because that's going to help amplify your message. So your loyal followers are the people that are going to like you and donate. Well, they might not donate. They might really just want to donate their time. Maybe they do donate their money, but they're the people that are going to spread the word. So they're almost functioning as your online ambassadors.
Yeah, I want to pull on that ambassador thread a little bit because
Okay.
that's really important, right? I
Right.
see nonprofits maybe miss that sometimes. It seems like you've got your brand Twitter account or your Facebook page, and it's got your
Mhm.
logo, and you're speaking as the brand, and they stop there, right? So
Right.
that's only one way and one set of followers. But what about getting like your employees,
Absolutely.
social media accounts, and those outside ambassadors, maybe board members, even donors?
I think that would be
How is
huge.
that important? Do you think people should do that?
Absolutely. I think that social media and fundraising can't exist in a silo. And if you're a development department director right now listening, you know that. It's only you know it so well. You can't just be given a fundraising goal of $14 million and then kind of put away in your office and never spoken to again. So same with social media. If you are the intern or volunteer or staff member, whoever you are responsible for it, you really need a group of people. I mean, it takes a village. I love when I see nonprofit CEOs and executive directors tweeting,
Yeah.
and especially, like, I know now the new thing is for like local city mayors to have Twitter accounts, and I love that. I really like seeing the human side of the nonprofit. If you're a big NGO, to have your development department person, maybe your fundraising person, your board chair, having people, they can still have their own Twitter account, but having them identify as a member of your
Hmm.
community. I love the idea of donors doing that. So I firmly believe the only way to succeed in social media is to have that community of online ambassadors. And then, your ambassador could be the 13-year-old girl who just wants to send out a tweet every once in a while.
Yeah.
She really likes animals, or she really likes, she wants to raise money for pediatric cancer research, whatever she wants to do. So to have those sort of higher level people that are paid by the organization, then you have your board members, your volunteers that are donating their time, effort every single day, and then people that might just want to be donating time online. Maybe that's all they can do. Maybe they don't have time to work in the food bank, or they don't have the money to donate, but they really want to help spread the word about the cause. Locally, the Beverly Farmers Market does a great job. It's actually the first day is today of the season. They do a fantastic job just getting people like me, even though I do actually visit the market, but people
Hmm.
that are online and have a big network and like spreading the word about things, and they encourage us. We don't get any reward for it other than we just love the market and we want to see it succeed. But there's a huge group of us that are sharing information constantly, and we just like doing it. And I know that for every nonprofit, there's that same group of people out there.
Oh yeah, every nonprofit has it for sure.
Right,
So
absolutely.
so you get your ambassadors going. You know
Mhm.
you want to build loyalty and not just be kind of promotional and simplistic in your messaging. You're doing all this stuff that you talk about and that you think is good. How do you know it's working? how does that sort of loyalty manifest? How do you know that you're doing a good job or that maybe you still have some work to do?
Right. Well, that's a tougher question. So I also believe in measurement and analytics. I don't think that anyone should be kind of tweeting in a vacuum. And there's 1,000 free tools out there. If you have a heavy social media presence, you're spending a lot of time, you probably want to invest in some kind of analytics platform that's going to show you this person came from Facebook to our website and then this person made a donation or signed up for our email list. It's all relative to your goals. So when developing an online communications plan, you want to make sure that you're being very strategic and very specific about your goals. Everyone says, okay, we want to increase awareness, we want to increase donations. Fine, like I do understand that, but you have to even drill down deeper than that. And if you've never measured that before, then you have to probably set up measurement for 3 months to see how is our online community growing, and then you do measure the numbers in that way because you don't really have anything else to measure if you've never measured before. So you'd only measure numbers. Then you want to sort of say, okay, is this driving traffic to our website? Is this increasing event signups? Is this getting us more phone calls? I had a nonprofit that I worked with that they wanted to raise awareness. They knew that they couldn't have a big fundraising campaign online because no one knew about them. So one of the measurements and one of the benchmarks that we set were, is the phone ringing more? Are people more interested in volunteering? Just very like anecdotal, qualitative data. So you can get the quantitative data, which is the hard numbers, but the qualitative data is really important too. So if you're spending all of this time and money, but you're not really seeing any advancement toward your goal, whatever that might be, then you want to make sure that you're every month measuring, analyzing, and improving. So what can you do differently? What are you doing that your community really likes? What's really working? What's kind of falling flat? What are your competitors doing? I don't really like the word competitor, but what are the other people in your space doing that is working for them, that's not working for them? It's really time consuming. I mean, you've got to read blogs, you've got to kind of keep up to date on all the changes in social media, and I know that is incredibly difficult and time consuming. Like Facebook just switched all the pages over to this new format.
Yep.
I know with, I had some clients that didn't know this was going to happen, even though I'd been telling them it was going to happen, but in the day-to-day, it's not a priority. If you're saving people's lives, the Facebook page change is not a priority in your life, until it happens, and then you say, oh my God, how do I update this? Where do I go for my insights? How do I analyze what I'm doing? How do I communicate with my followers? So just be willing to kind of try new things, be open-minded, and at the end of the day, this is my job and how I make my living, but it's not brain surgery. If Facebook closes tomorrow, people are really not going to die. They're not going to.
Yep.
So the work that that your nonprofit is doing, whatever it is, like preserving a land trust or saving animals or helping domestic violence victims, that is by far the most important thing, and don't lose sight of that. And as long as you're communicating that impact every day in all your communications, then you're going to be successful.
Yeah, you'll be fine. And luckily, you've got a great blog like Julia's that'll show you all the things to keep up on. So yeah, that was great. I love the advice. I love especially the stuff on specific goals like more phone calls, or people clicking, or people signing up for events, rather than just is followers growing and are you getting likes. All that's important, but really drilling down.
You can't really do marketing or fundraising if you don't have a list to market or fundraise to. So you do have to focus on numbers a little bit. But if your open rate on your email is 100%, but no one is actually donating, then
right.
So you get caught up in like, oh, we got this great open rate, or we just get our 1,000th Twitter follower, but Twitter's not driving any traffic to your website. It's not actually doing anything. So to make sure you're always looking back and saying, these aren't just vanity metrics, like these are actually working towards what we want them to.
I love it. Well, this was awesome. This is great advice. Just in the final seconds we have, I know you got to run, but where can folks find out more about you? What's your Twitter handle? What's your URL? We'll link to all that stuff.
My Twitter handle is @JuliaCSocial. My website and blog is jcsocialmarketing.com, and you can email me or tweet me. I'm always online, happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, do that. Do follow her. She's awesome. Great content. Julia, thanks for joining us. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Really great opportunity. Thanks, Stephen.
All right, we will catch you all next week with another episode. Thanks for watching, and we will see you then. Take care.
Take care.